On the eve of the week-long Keystone XL pipeline hearings, opponents grabbed a sign and marched. The protesters covered around 1.5 blocks in downtown Lincoln, heading from the Capitol to the Cornhusker Marriott Hotel, the site of the formal Public Service Commission hearings on the proposed pipeline, which was approved this year by President Trump. Before the march, the protesters rallied on the steps of the Capitol, with Jane Klebb, the head of the Nebraska Democratic Party, and activist group Bold Alliance, leading the charge.
We continue to build these dirty tar sands pipelines. We're not going to see farming like the way that we do right now.
From there, over a half dozen speakers gave pep talks to the crowd before the march began. The 1,000-plus protesters all did so in order to stop Keystone XL, which would bring tar sands oil from Canada through Nebraska all the way to Texas. But the protesters wanted to stop the pipeline for many different reasons, including the potential destruction of farmable soil, a foreign company using eminent domain on Americans, and, of course, protecting the Ogallala Aquifer.
It's a risk not worth taking. The pipeline only creates 35 permanent jobs, and balanced against the risk to the Ogallala Aquifer.
Without that aquifer underneath it, the breadbasket of America is not going to be no longer.
Some came as far as Chicago and Minnesota just to participate in the protest.
This is sort of the last great hope we have for killing off this wretched pipeline.
We don't need more oil infrastructure. It would be different if this was 20 or 30 years ago, when we had a clearly increasing demand for oil. We don't have that today.
Others have been fighting this pipeline since last decade, including Sandy Harrison, who says this is actually the biggest anti-Keystone XL protest she's attended.
So I'm hoping that this one might give a message at least that says no, people are sick of it.
The march was heavily protected by law enforcement, who kept the peace throughout the day with no visible incidents. The Public Service Commission will vote to approve or deny the pipeline by no later than November 23rd. If it does pass, some marchers say to expect similar protests to the ones in North Dakota last year against the Dakota Access Pipeline.
It's going to be just like Davos. So, if it does get approved, I hope they know what's coming.
Reporting in Lincoln for News Channel Nebraska, I'm John Kipper.